Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum CS Pro users. Tutorial on Insert a Group Occurrence. In this tutorial, we will learn how we can handle group occurrence. I came across a post on a CS Pro users forum that inspired me to record this tutorial. This logic will function as specified in the post, but it will also generate empty records for occurrences. I have a roster of 60 occurrences that I will use to enter crop data. The crop data will be stored in sequence. For example, if I have three crops with the following crop IDs 10, 27, and 5, I want to enter these IDs as follows. At the first occurrence, enter crop ID 10. A menu with a heading and a list of options will be displayed. When you click yes, the first 9 occurrences from 1 to 9 are skipped and the cursor moves to occurrence number 10. The crop ID will print automatically from 1 to 10. We will enter the rest of the information on the 10th occurrence, which is also the crop ID, and the cursor will move to the 11th occurrence. Crop ID 27 should be entered at the 11th occurrence. A menu with a heading and a list of options will appear once again. When you click yes, occurrence 11 through 26 are skipped and the cursor moves to occurrence number 27. From 11 to 27, the crop ID will print automatically. The rest of the information will be entered on the 27th occurrence, which is also the crop ID, and the cursor will move to the 28th occurrence. You should now enter the third and final crop ID, which is 5. On the 28th occurrence, enter crop ID 5. Choose yes from the menu. At this point, the cursor will return to occurrence number 5. Enter the remaining information for this crop ID. The cursor will move to the 28th occurrence as soon as you enter the crop area information. Let us now go over the logic for these three crops. In my application, I have one record called multi-occurrence record, and it is set to 60 occurrences. There are only 4 items in this record. The logic is written at the fields procedure level using pre-proc and post-proc statements. We will declare numeric and string global variables in the global procedures. Declare numeric and string global variables I, flag, store crop ID 1, 2, and 3 in the global procedure. The logic is written in the post-proc and pre-proc statements of the crop ID item. We will start with the logic in the post-proc statement and then move on to the logic in the pre-proc statement. The nested if-else statement is used to accomplish this logic in the post-proc statement. If the entered value of 10 is less than the current occurrence value of 1, the following statements are executed. Otherwise, the code in the else statement is executed. These lines of code will be executed because the entered value is greater than the current occurrence number. Store the entered value 10 from occurrence number 1 in the string dummy variable store crop ID 3. Because the entered value is greater than the current occurrence, these lines of code are skipped and the code in the else statement is executed. The accept function displays a menu with a heading and a list of choices. The crop ID is also part of the heading. The accept function returns the index of the choice selected, 1 for the first choice, 2 for the second choice, and so on. If we select the choice yes, the index number will be 1, otherwise 2. Set the flag value to 101, or you can store any other value. This flag value will be used in the pre-proc statement. Subtract the current occurrence number from the entered value, which is 10, and save the result in the numeric dummy variable store crop ID 1. The stored value will be 9. We will use this value for the loop in the preproc. Replace 10 with the current occurrence number in this line, and the cursor will now move from occurrence number 1 to occurrence number 2. The logic in the preproc statement will be executed when the cursor moves to the second occurrence. The preproc statement declares that the statements following it are executed at the beginning of a run, case, level, record, form, roster, or fields. In our case, the logic was evaluated at the start, but the flag value was 0 at that time. So these lines of codes were skipped and the logic was executed in the postproc statement. These lines of code will be executed when the cursor moves to the next occurrence and when the flag value is set to 101. I'm using a do-while loop to fill in the numbers in sequence up to 10, which are also crop IDs. I have set the I value to 1, and this loop will run while the I value is less than the store crop ID 1 value. At the moment, the store value in this dummy variable is 9. This number is derived from this line. Fill in the crop ID with the current occurrence value at this line, which is 2. Save the current occurrence value in the numeric dummy variable store crop ID 2. After subtracting 1 from the store crop ID 1, store the new value in store crop ID 1, and the new value is 8. Move over to the next occurrence, and we will use the occurrence number plus 1 in the parentheses. If the occurrence number is not enclosed in the parentheses, the cursor will move one at a time. Now we are on the third occurrence at this time. The value currently stored in this dummy variable is 8. This number is derived from the previous loop. The loop will execute as described in the previous instance. When the condition is met, execution proceeds to the first statement after the do keyword. Fill in the crop ID with the current occurrence value and set the flag to 0. The crop ID will be 10 at this occurrence number. We will enter the rest of the information on the 10th occurrence, which is also the crop ID, and the cursor will move to the 11th occurrence. Now enter crop ID 27 on the 11th occurrence. A menu with a heading and a list of options will appear once again. When you click yes, logic in the preproc will run again and the occurrence 11 through 26 are skipped, and the cursor move to the occurrence number 27. From 11 to 27, the crop ID will print automatically. The rest of the information will be entered on the 27th occurrence, which is also the crop ID, and the cursor will move to the 28th occurrence. You should now enter the third and final crop ID, which is 5. See the logic for crop ID 5 now. I am returning to the postproc statement in the crop ID item. Because the value entered is less than the current occurrence value, these lines of code will be executed. Again, using the except function as previously discussed, proceed to the next line. To clear the entered value from the 28th occurrence, use the special value not APPL. Set the flag value to 01. This flag value will be used to determine whether to move on to the next occurrence or jump to a specific occurrence number. The current occurrence number should be saved in the numeric dummy variable store crop ID 1. After entering the data against crop ID 5, this value will be used to move back to the 28th occurrence. Return to the occurrence number 5. To move back at occurrence number 28, the logic is written in item crop area. The flag is 201, which we set in the post proc. Set the flag value to 0 here and use the move statement to go to the last position. It is a method for entering crop information in an orderly manner. I hope this logic is useful to you in your projects. Keep on learning and goodbye.